Hello, everyone. Teachers are among the most creative and inventive people out there. And now we have an opportunity for our talents to shine in new ways. Unexpectedly, we are in a completely different time, and our approach to teaching and learning has changed. Classworks is here for you during this time as your partner and your coach. Today, I want to share with you how we can work together to create an engaging digital learning environment where students can both engage in instructional materials and collaborate with their peers and their teacher. Your district has chosen to use Google Classroom as a part of your remote or distance learning plan, and this is great. It's an important tool and resource for you to have. But more important than just the tool or resource is how we put it to work to meet the needs of our students. Classworks has over 7,000 specific, standards-aligned units and pieces of instruction that you can use within your Google Classroom to engage your students in meaningful and rigorous instruction during this time. Today, I'm going to show you how we go about putting Classworks to work within your Google Classroom. We're going to look at three specific things. We're going to look at gathering remote grades, providing guidance and coaching for your students, and ensuring communication and social connection continue to work in the advantage of your students through this time. So starting with gathering grades, during a remote extended learning period, this is one of the largest opportunities you have to be resourceful. One of those resources that you need is to have quality, standards-aligned instruction for your students. Classworks is here for you with our over 7,000 different specific pieces of instruction that can help support your goals for your students. Classworks will deliver grades and marks for every piece of the Classworks instructional piece that you put within your Google Classroom. You will be able to gather information on time on task or student engagement, as well as student performance. If you choose to use our applied math and integrated reading lessons, in addition to those two pieces of information for scoring, you will also be able to see how students solved each problem in the applied math lessons as they work on a digital canvas where their problem-solving strategies are recorded, and how students interacted with text in the integrated reading lessons by highlighting and annotating the passage, both to show how they used the text and the strategies that you've taught them, and where they found information that they needed to answer each of the questions that come along with the passage. Both of these lessons also include multiple choice and short constructed responses, and so you'll be able to gather information on student progress beyond just that multiple choice answer. Now, some students are going to be able to complete more lessons than others within a single week, and that's fine. We need to be flexible with that. But with Classworks, you can still gather a weekly grade for students on their proficiency and their engagement or time on task. So moving forward with clear expectations will be important. So students may complete different numbers of assignments, but when you express your expectations when it comes to grades, your students and their parents will know clearly and concisely what it is you're looking for. No matter how you plan to collect grades, that clear, concise piece of information and expressing your expectations is important. Parents and their students are under stress now too. This is all new to everyone. So the more clear we can be, the better off. So you can use Google Classroom to assign Classworks assignments to your whole class, to small groups of students, or to individual students. You have that flexibility about giving them that chance to demonstrate their thinking. When you use the instruction piece of Google Classroom to give students an insight into what the assignment is, if your district is using the big question or a purpose setting statement that the students are familiar with and they know they should respond to, that is another opportunity for you to collect information or grade on the student's progress. We're going to take a look at two different examples, and we're going to see how does this work with Classworks inside of a Google Classroom. So here I am at the dashboard for your Classworks website. And where we're going to go for these is going to be under the Instruction tab. You would go ahead and click Instruction. At that Instruction tab, you will have the option to either create a brand new assignment from our bank of instructional pieces. Again, there's over 7,000 of those that span grades from grade 9 for English 1 or algebra all the way down to kindergarten level standards. Or you can also use our applied math and integrated reading lessons. And again, those will be those lessons where you'll be able to see the students' process or strategy use in addition to their skill answer. So if we go here first and we choose an applied math lesson, we would open up applied math. We would get to our grade level. Once we've opened up our grade level, we will see the list of different units. Now for math, there are 43 different units at each grade level, 1st through 8th, and there are 26 when it comes to kindergarten. Once I have this blue link open, I can open it, I can launch it, look at it, make sure this is what I want. But this is where I need to be in order to make an assignment to my Google Classroom. So again, these applied math lessons and the integrated reading lessons will allow you to see the students' process and their engagement with the problem or the text as they're working. If you choose to use one of the create your own, what you will do is hit create new, choose your content area, and then you will go through and choose your grade and work through the different standards until you get down to the indicator or the lesson that you want to use. These lessons are structured so that they have a mini lesson, several application or practice activities. Sometimes those activities are games and sometimes they're guided instructional pieces, and they're all ending with a quick quiz. And now that quick quiz is going to give you a formative assessment on that specific discrete skill and how the students are working on it. You will also be able to see their scores on the application or practice activities. And you'll be able to see with that mini lesson where it was setting the stage and giving the students some background information on the skill. How much time did they spend being engaged with that mini lesson? And so when you're looking for different pieces of instruction, again, the integrated reading and the applied math, you can see their processes and their problem-solving techniques. When you're looking at these lessons under Create New, they're going to be delivered in a robust manner where they have a mini lesson, several application or practice activities, and a quick quiz. And you'll be able to see their results as a percentage at the end. So there are different options for you, and based on the skill and your students' needs, you can utilize both or just one or the other. When I have my lesson that I want to use, I will click that blue link. When I click that blue link, I'm going to see a window, and up here in the top of the blue bar is my name. I'm going to click on that, and one of the options in the drop-down menu is Embed and Share. So I'm going to go ahead and click Embed and Share. And what I will see next is this window. I'm going to say I want this in my Google Classroom. So I will click Google Classroom, and it's going to walk me through the steps of making sure I'm signed into my Google Classroom. And what class do I want to assign this to? So this is being assigned to my digital learning class. And how do I want to put it in there? So I can use it as creating an assignment, asking a question, making an announcement, any of those options for me. So I am going to be creating an assignment here. So once you hit Create Assignment, the assignment window will open, and this is an opportunity for you to say, what is the instruction? What information is important for your students? And so if you've been working and focusing on specific things, you can remind them of that in the instructions, and you can set the stage and provide clarity for their expectations. You can also incorporate the due date or any reminders that you want to provide for them. Over on this side, you say who you would like to assign this to. So again, you can assign this to everyone, a small group or an individual student. How many points is it worth? When is it due? And whether or not you're using a rubric. If you're using a rubric, you can incorporate it or upload it here. Once the students have finished the assignment, they will be able to see their results on a window that looks similar to this. So this student earned 2 stars. So roughly 2/3 of the questions were answered correctly. They spent 48 seconds on the entire lesson. Down below here, the student will be able to see which questions they answered correctly and incorrectly, and they will be able to click this icon to see their canvas. When this comes to you, you will be able to see this same information and provide feedback on whether or not they answered the questions correctly and how they solved the problem by looking at their own canvas or their work area. Once the students have seen this, they will want to click on their Google Classroom icon. It's going to be right up here underneath their name. They click on that and they turn it in. This is my work for this assignment. And then their job is done and you have the information that you need in order to provide feedback and a score, letting them know how they're working and how they're progressing on that outcome or that objective. Now, in addition to just that phase of the student providing answers and you taking a look at their work, you also have these 4 different tools within Google Classroom that you can utilize when you're working with your Classworks assignments. So the stream is the home page for our students. This is where they will be able to see what they have left to do. You can share something with them. We have some districts in New Jersey that are utilizing the stream to provide daily icebreakers to their students. So they're keeping that communication and collaboration alive and encouraging social connection by having the students respond daily to just a fun icebreaker type question. Or I've even seen indoor scavenger hunts. What's something that you found that has 6 faces, 6 corners, and 6 edges? Something along that line that ties in with your outcome. I've seen that being used in multiple districts. One that comes to mind is one of our districts in New Jersey. When we go over to the next tab, which is the Classwork tab, that Classworks tab will allow you to see the instruction that you've provided. So here's the unit or the lesson that I've assigned. Here is all the instruction that I gave, that I included in their instructional set. And over here, I have a snapshot. How many students have finished it? How many students have been assigned it? And so that's a way for me to keep an eye on progress, just as a big picture view. If I click on this, what I'm going to see is a class list, and there's a number of points available. If this student had turned it in, this student's score would be right here. And so I have that information available at a student by student level just by clicking on that on the Classwork tab. If I move over to the next tab, to the People tab, I will see my list of students. So I've invited one student here, has not responded, but I have this student here who has. If I need to connect with that student, I can email them just by moving over here to the side and clicking on the icon, and an email will come up. So again, another way to keep that communication and that social connection open. And that will also be used for encouragement and guidance for our students. So the last tab up here is my grading tab, and that is just what it says. It's going to give me a class roster. It's going to give me the assignments over here as different column heads, and I'm going to be able to see what's the overall grade, what's the class average, and how is each student working in comparison to that class average. So one other tool that we're seeing is that we have a school district out in Washington State where they're putting in class structure within the remote learning environment. So specifically what they're doing is they've set up virtual office hours that mirror the daily schedule. If you think about a middle schooler or a high schooler who's used to working on a block schedule, or an upper elementary student who maybe has a different teacher for math than for reading, and there's a special time or a specific time that they're always in that room, the teachers are setting their virtual office hours to mimic that. So if I had Miss Career for block 1 and that was from 8:20 until 9:30, then that will be the time that Miss Career's office hours are set for block 1, so that the students can meet inside Google Classroom and have that conversation or utilize that time as part of their normal structure to help them maintain momentum with their skills. So in brief, those are some ways that we can put Classworks to work within Google Classroom. Again, the most important thing is to be able to be connected to your students and provide them with quality instruction. And Classworks delivers over 7,000 different units that are standards aligned. They are tied to your curriculum, and your students are familiar with the Classworks platform. So we are here for you as your partner and your coach. And we cannot wait to support you both through this time where we're really digging into remote learning, and after this time ends and we are back into our physical walls and our schools are all together in one place again. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.